Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, everything is going well for you. I have the Rabbit Hole Precision tool. I have done videos about this tool in the past. It is a really nice tool because it measures a whole lot of different things. Just the way that it's designed enables it to measure a number of things. And I've done some videos on how to configure it for certain measurements, like for, measuring primer pocket depth, primer seating depth, rim thickness. What I'm going to do today, though, is show you firing pin protrusion and how to use it for that, okay? So really like this tool. Rabbit Hole Precision, again, is the name of the company. And they make this tool in a number of different configurations, Magnum cartridges, 308, size, down to, PPC size, etc. And I think they might be coming out with more, so I would definitely check out their website to see. But going to be using that. I'm using my eye gauging for today. I normally use a Mitutoyo, but the eye gauging was in this in this Rabbit Hole Precision RPG tool body. I didn't want to mess with it, so just going to go ahead and use the eye gauging for that. And again, demonstrate firing pin protrusion and how to measure that. Going to do it in this new rifle that I got. I'll describe the rifle a bit for you because it is a really nice rifle. I'm super happy that I just recently got my hands on it. The stock is a carbon fiber Jeremy Mattia stock. It is very light and it's carbon fiber, so it's very rigid too. And just a really awesome looking stock. And, I need to make weight for light varmint, so it's, super light and enables me to make weight with the rest of my components. So I'm very happy about that. It is topped with a Borden Black Knight Action. And bolt action body and bolt there. And this is the sort of light varmint bench rest version of the Black Knight. The barrel is a Schillen barrel. I've been getting some really good Schillen barrels lately, so I'm super happy with these barrels, and look forward to shooting this one. It's a brand new barrel, chambered by Jim Borden himself, and the actual action was glued by Jim Borden. The stock was inletted by Don Meredith. Everything is just perfect here. It is a really solid setup. Just super happy with it. And went with Stay Molly scope rings. Jim has those in his shop and recommends them. And, when he asked me, what rings are you using? I said, I don't know. What are you recommending? He said, these ones for sure. I said, great. Let's throw a pair on there. I'll put a March scope in there eventually. I just don't have the scope on there yet. And for the trigger, I'm using a She trigger. I used this trigger last year in short-range bench rest competitions, and it is performed flawlessly, did really good. I was able to set it to a really light. I love a super-duper light trigger, and I was able to set it to a super light setting. No creep. The break was just perfect. So I've been having really good luck with the She triggers. Wonderful. And look, and then Jim actually has these in his shop now. These barrel thread protectors. So he sent that with the Schillen barrel. Really cool thread protector. So check that out on his shop. Okay. All right. So let's get into measuring. How do we measure this thing? So first of all, I configured the Rabbit Hole Precision tool with just one plate on it. And it really, to me, doesn't matter exactly what plate is on it, but I just want one plate on there for simplicity's sake. I left the little thumb spring action thing in there because it doesn't matter. I didn't want to have to take a bunch of stuff off and do a full reconfiguration. I had this configured to measure primer seating depth, and I just removed one of the plates and just left everything in place just for simplicity's sake. Okay, so it's just basically the tool with one plate. You can take this thumb thing out, or if you want, or leave it on. It doesn't matter. And turn on the eye gauging tool. Flickering a little bit. Let's zero that. And what I did with the bolt is I went ahead and I removed the ejector, because the ejector kind of protrudes beyond that bolt face there. So I wanted to make sure that that was gone, so I get a nice flat surface there on the bolt face, because you'll see here in a second I'm using that to put the tool on. Okay. I also pulled out my Kleinendorf tool. This tool just enables me what I could. I mean, I can twist this thing off and unscrew it, but it can mangle my hand sometimes. So I like this tool for ease of pulling out the firing pin. It just makes it a lot easier to pull it out if I need to. Okay. This tool fits, I think, like a Remington 700 style, but it won't fit other things, like it won't fit my Bat Nouveau. So so this tool is not a universal. You have to, if you're getting a tool like that to take your firing pin assembly out, you have to make sure you have the right one for the action that you have. This one just so happens to work with the Borden Black Knight. Okay. And so basically with these tools in place, with the ejector out, and I'll move that to the side, basically with that, I just used a hammer, and I have a specific punch that I use that is the size of the pin that holds the ejector in place. And okay, so that's out, bolts ready to go. Just to kind of demonstrate for you a little something, you see these two grooves down here, okay, in the shroud there. When you put your bolt in, those two things, they essentially sort of connect to the trigger. And when you turn your bolt, what's happening here is your bolt body is turning, but your firing pin is staying straight, okay? And then when you lock it in place, your firing pin stays exactly straight. It's just your body here is turning, and you can see that happening right there. And this isn't turning, but this is right here, okay? So what's happening in that process is, as this body is turning, this firing pin is staying straight, and so it's turning essentially down to here. So when your trigger, when you pull the trigger, essentially, this is turned to this section, and this piece stays out in this section, and then when you pull the trigger, this piece slams down into that section, okay, and then slams your firing pin forward, and then your pin is now protruding, okay. So that's how that mechanism works, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and put that up there so the firing pin is not protruding at all, okay? So here's how you do it. We turn on the eye gauging. Now, you can put this in a vise. I actually did this kind of with just like I'm doing it now and in a vise, and I got the same value. But if you like to, hold things in place tightly, go right ahead, put it in a vise to hold it, or some other method of sort of making this platform stable is just fine. But what I do is I take the tool, put it where the firing pin hole is, press the tool down, okay, and hold it down and get a 0. Okay, so I zeroed it out. Then I pick it up. See that -469.5. And then what I do is I just essentially turn this to simulate, like, the firing pin, the trigger being pulled, and the firing pin is now protruding, as you can see. And then just take this puppy, put the tip of that tool right on the firing pin, and then hold it down, 0.0585. Okay, so I'm just going to go with 0.058. All right. So that is your value there for your pin protrusion. At least my value for this is 0.058. So once again, and this is why I like this tool here, because I can very easily just kind of put it back into place. Measure without the firing pin protruded, get your 0, and then go ahead and simulate your firing pin being fired and make sure it's protruding, not getting caught up or anything. Put this tip right here, right on the top of that firing pin, press down, hold down and get your value, 0.0585. Oh, it slipped off, see? This is why a vise is helpful. So I do recommend a vise, but 0.0585, it kind of flickered from 0.0580 to 585. That's okay, a half a thousand, so I'm not worried. I'm just gonna call it 0.058 and go from there. Again, you know, having a vise will make this a lot, a lot smoother, but I did actually measure in this exact way and in the vise, and I got the same value. So there you go. You can use this rabbit hole precision tool to go ahead and measure your firing pin protrusion. See how long that thing is protruding from your bolt face. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you're shooting well, and look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Bye-bye.